Everyone, and very happy to be part of the first webinar and to give you an introduction to the HTAi Interest Group on ethical issues in HTA. Our interest group is one of the oldest interest groups in HTAi. It was actually started as an INATA working group in 2005 and then formally became an HTAi interest group in 2000. INATA working group in 2004 and then an HTAi working group in 2005. We've been conducting pre-conference workshops since about 2009, and we have about 75 members in our group and a core group of very active members who help develop pre-conference workshops, come to annual meetings, produce publications, etc. And I'll describe some of these as I go through the slides. So the agenda, just for the short presentation that I have, is just to give you a bit more of an overview of the interest group and describe the executive team, talk about some of the recent interest group activities that we've been involved with, and give you an overview of the agenda for our business meeting in Cologne at HTAi, and then tell you a little bit more about how to find out more about our group. But I think most people online probably have that well under their belts. So a little bit about our interest group for ethical issues in HTA. Our aims are to try and maintain a structure and process that support a number of the activities and benefits of our membership. So for example, we try to coordinate and prepare educational resources on ethics in HTA. We want to be sure and aim to develop practical approaches for identifying and handling ethical issues in HTA. And that's the focus of our pre-conference workshop, actually, in our publications, trying to move forward on those things and provide some education for people around how to do that, the ethics work. The benefits of the membership are to provide networking opportunities, and I know this is similar to many of the other interest groups. The international community of people actually doing or conducting ethics analysis in HTA is quite small, so this is a very important way you can get in touch with people and actually have face-to-face conversations with people who are doing that work or actively involved in it in some other way. We want to provide opportunities to share and exchange expertise on processes and methodologies and tools. And that's one of the main activities we have there to provide those opportunities, our annual scientific meeting, which I'll talk a little bit about on the next slide. And then giving people an opportunity just to learn more about ethics in HTA. And that's usually done through conversations that happen at the business meeting and other email exchanges that we have. Here's the executive team. There's me. I'm a director of HTAi and external partnerships at the Institute of Health Economics in Edmonton, Canada, and I've been an interest group member since about 2010. Dario Sacchini is my co-chair. He's an associate professor of bioethics at the Institute of Bioethics and Medical Humanities in the Catholic University in Rome, Italy. And he's been an IG member since 2008. He's actually one of the longest standing members in our interest group. And one of the newest members of our group and certainly of our executive team is Sylvia Nabukenya, who's our technical officer, and she's a regulatory affairs and compliance officer at the Infectious Diseases Institute in Uganda, and she joined in 2017. And she's been a tremendous support to our group. She's recently completed her master's degree in bioethics, and we're very fortunate to have her assisting the coordination of our group's activities. Some of our past activities and also upcoming activities, but the past activities are an annual pre-conference workshop to introduce ethics in HTA. This has evolved over time, and it started out as a half-day workshop, I think in 2009 in Singapore. And it's evolved to become a full-day workshop for most people, and we're getting a lot of good feedback on the longer format. So we've continued to do that, and we'll be doing a full day workshop, pre-conference workshop in Cologne as well. We held an HTAi Ethics Scientific meeting in Amsterdam in December, the last December. We've held a few other annual meetings a few other scientific meetings. They haven't been annual. So in 2012 and 2013, we had several meetings as well. And this just gives us an opportunity to meet and talk about important methodological issues, usually, to coordinate the drafting and development of scientific papers on ethics in HTAi, and just have further discussions that are easier done in face-to-face rather than online. We were also involved in the production of a chapter to the Early Career Network handbook that was developed this year. And some of our group members have also been involved in the development of an online course called HTAi, or Health Technology Plus Ethics. And this is now evolved into a new European Commission funded project. And we also try and promote some linkages with other IGs. In the past, it's been connections with the Patient and Citizen Involvement Interest Group, but also a few activities with the Disinvestment Group. So ongoing and future activities, I did mention the evolution of our online course, and it's now, most of it is taking place under the Erasmus Plus program called Validate HTAi. And you can see the acronym spelled out there. So that involves the development of some course materials, some webinars, and organizing a faculty who will oversee the delivery of the projects or of the course content, and marking the projects and that sort of thing. We are involved with Euroscan to try and talk more about the ethical issues involved with early and emerging health technologies, and trying to promote further linkages with other IGs, with other interest groups rather. So we're also looking forward to the next ethics scientific meeting. We haven't set a date yet for that, but we're hoping it may be September, October, as well as the development of related papers that have come out, that may come out of our discussions from our Amsterdam meeting. And actually part of that discussion is on our interest group business meeting agenda for Cologne. So the interest group business meeting for the ethics group is on Tuesday, June 18th. It's over lunch, and I don't have a location yet. But that just may be me being a little bit behind in gathering that information. We'll talk a little bit about what happened at Amsterdam, and actually the materials from our meeting in Amsterdam are posted on our interest group webpage. So if you're interested in learning more about what happened before you come to the meeting, you can take a look there at the materials. We are having a webinar right now, and so we'll talk to people a little bit about how today went, and we'll give them an update from the interest group steering committee meeting, which occurs the day before the business meeting in Cologne. We'll also say a little bit more about what's happening with the Validate project. So in terms of the next activities we want to discuss at the business meeting, we'll talk about some papers. One specific topic that is under development is a set of competencies for conducting ethics in health technology assessment, or ethical analysis rather, in health technology assessment, and exploring the ethical issues in disinvestment. And we also want to focus a little bit about preparing for Beijing, exploring the opportunities that being in China may present in terms of some unique ethics challenges that are raised by HTAi work there, and as well as trying to form some collaborations with people in China to help develop a good engagement with people who are involved in ethics work in HTAi or in health technology assessment decision making there. If you want to join our interest group, here's the information. You can either contact the interest group email, HTAi email address there in front of you, or you can contact me or my co-chair, and feel free to ask us any questions. And that is it for me. So I guess now there's an opportunity for questions.
Great, thank you, Ken. Yeah, so if anyone of the attendees has any questions, please do submit them through the GoToWebinar panel. So we can answer any questions at the end of this webinar too. I'll now hand over to Valentina from PCIG, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca. I will show my screen. Can you see it? Can you see my screen?
I can, yes.
Yes,
Okay,
I can. Yeah,
perfect.
thank you. Yeah.
So the structure of my presentation will be very similar to the one just delivered by Ken. Just quick word about myself because I was not able to provide my bio in advance. So I'm the Senior Program Manager of the European Patients Forum, which is a European patient organization representing all patients across Europe and across chronic conditions. I represent EPF in HTA-related activities, such as the HTA Network Stakeholder Pool, which is a European network of representatives working in HTA. And since December 2018, I'm also the Vice Chair of the Patient and Citizens Involvement Interest Group. This is to provide an overview of the Patient and Citizens Involvement Interest Group. So very quickly, what characterizes this group is that it's, of course, multi-stakeholder, as many of the other interest groups. It brings together patient representatives, HTA experts, also experts working for HTA bodies themselves, industry representatives. We have a formal governance structure with terms of reference. All members' views are equally respected and considered. And in a nutshell, we really work to promote the patient and citizens' involvement in HTA. So working on promoting the concept of patient involvement, embedding it in the practice of HTA bodies and other stakeholders, but also working on the evaluation of the impact of patient involvement. Our membership involves, at the moment, 412 people. We do have a steering committee. Neil Bertelsen is currently the chair, while, as I said, I'm the vice chair. As you can see, Neil is the chair, I'm the vice chair. Our former chair is Jenny Whale. Our technical officer is Rebecca Addo from Ghana. And we do have a very constructive and collaborative steering committee where everybody contributes according to their capacity and skills. In terms of activities, I thought of presenting them by work stream. There are in the PCIG 3 working groups, but beside those, we also are involved in a project funded by the European Union, which is called Paradigm. And the PCIG plays a major role in this project because while the project is really all about building an infrastructure and a framework for patient engagement, as a PCIG, we really work to identify the needs of HTA agencies when it comes to patient involvement. The key deliverable of the PCIG has already been completed. It was a workshop, and in October 2019, there will be a second stage workshop to finalize the tools that have been identified as the key tools to use to allow effective patient involvement. This meeting will be hosted by the French agency Haute Autorité de Santé and the UNETA Early Dialogue Working Group. For you to know, UNETA is also a European project. It's a joint action bringing together member states and working in HTA. Now, going to the work delivered by actual working groups. The one of them is called Methods and Impact Working Group. As you can see, this group delivers a lot of work streams. I want to go into details, but briefly, I can share what they are delivering. All of them actually have been accepted. They have submitted panel abstracts that have been accepted to the HTAi 2019. So you will be able also to attend the panel discussions and contribute. The first work stream of this working group is on patient preferences, and it looks at investigating the value and use of patient preferences in HTAi. It's also trying to build synergies with the other entities like ISPOR or ongoing projects like the project Prefer on patient preferences. This working group is also working on qualitative evidence synthesis, looking at the importance of qualitative evidence and methods of synthesis. The third important work stream here is the evaluation of impact of patient involvement in HTAi. And as you can see, also a paper has been accepted by a journal, so it should be published soon. Beside that, there is ongoing synergies with the HTAi program and the work delivered by the patient organization EuroRDis. Patient and Involvement and Education Working Group. It's so the second working group involved in this interest group, and they are working to develop a case for patient groups globally to have access to clinical trials. They also are going to have a workshop in Cologne. It will take place on the 15th of June, and it will take a full day. And the expectation is following the workshop, to identify guidance on value for patient groups, HTAi bodies, and other stakeholders from patient involvement in HTAi. This subgroup is also working to prepare tutorial sheets to support patient groups in developing patient input in HTAi appraisals, and is going to publish, hopefully, a paper with 2 case studies on patient input in final recommendation documentation for 3 health technology assessment bodies. Last but not least, the working group on citizens and community involvement. And this group has concentrated on the publishing of a paper that explores the role and definitions of various lay members in a variety of HTAi processes around the world. A paper has been submitted for publications again, and also this group will have a panel discussion at HTAi 2019 to further explore the role of citizens as an important stakeholder in HTAi decisions and processes, and foster dialogue with HTAi stakeholders on the evolving role of citizens. So as you can see, there's a lot of work ongoing, and if there is an interest in knowing more, getting more information about the activities, I can also put you in contact with the relevant persons. In terms of our business meeting, it will be a competing one with the one organized by Ken, because it will also take place on the 18th of June, starting at 1:45 p.m. till 1:45 p.m. The location is still to be defined, and we will focus, of course, both on governance aspects and activities. So for you all to know, our interest group has gone through a quite important amendment process of our terms of references, and these have been, for the moment, approved by the steering committee, and we are looking forward to the meeting in Cologne to be able to have ratification from the annual business meeting. So it will be quite important for participants to see how our work is going to be organized. We will shift from a working group-based organizational work towards a project-based organizational work, simply to make our work more efficient and more flexible. We are also going to update participants about ongoing and future projects. So all the leads on the current working groups will provide their own updates, There will be also an opportunity to meet with the new chair and the current vice chair. And I think it's quite a busy agenda considering that it will take just 1 hour. So we will try to make the most of it. If you want to learn more or get in touch with us, again, you can email to the interest groups at HTAi.org. You can get in touch with me, and as soon as the new chair is confirmed, also with the new chair, we also have a LinkedIn page and a Twitter account, and you can also subscribe to our monthly e-bulletin, which is indicated also on our web page. It's pcig.htai@gmail.com. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Valentina. If anyone does have any questions, we'll just give it a few seconds for you to submit them through the GoToWebinar panel. Is there any more closing remarks that Ken and Valentina you'd like to make?
Nothing on my side. Just to reiterate the message that what is important to know about PCIG is that we have, as I said, we have modified our terms of reference. This will have an impact on the way we deliver our work, hopefully a positive impact. And this should also allow those who are interested in joining the PCIG to contribute more directly to our activities. In any case, we will keep everyone informed as soon as the new terms of references are fully approved.
Mm-hmm. And I think the only thing I have to add is just to remind everyone that materials from all of our activities, all of the ethics activities, as well as all of our publications, for the most part, are available on our interest group webpage. So if people are interested in the sorts of activities we've been involved with, they can take a look there.